6 classic American cars that look incredible in photos, but will drain your bank account faster than you can say restoration project. These cars are everywhere at auctions, tempting collectors with their badges and their history. But underneath that chrome hides rust, rare parts nobody makes anymore, and repair bills that'll make your mechanic wince. Stick around till the end, because number 1 on this list has ruined more weekend garages than any car in American history. Number 6. 1976 Cadillac Seville. Let's start with a car that looked like luxury but lived like a nightmare. The 1976 Cadillac Seville. Cadillac wanted a smaller, more European luxury sedan to compete with Mercedes, and on paper, the Seville checked every box. Elegant lines, a prestigious badge, and a price tag that matched its ambitions. But here's where things go sideways fast. Underneath that polished exterior was a modified Chevy Nova platform, dressed up to look far more expensive than it actually was. Owners today find that out the hard way when they start sourcing parts. Trim pieces, badges, and interior components are notoriously scarce. And because the Seville shared bones with a cheaper car, restoration specialists often treat it as an afterthought. Then there's the engine. Many Sevilles came with the Oldsmobile-sourced 350 diesel, a power plant plagued with head gasket failures, fuel system corrosion, and head bolt issues that can crack the block entirely. If you find one with this engine still installed, walk away, because rebuilding it properly can cost more than the car is worth. Electrical gremlins are another story altogether. The Seville's onboard systems, ambitious for their time, are now a tangled mess of brittle wiring and discontinued components. Finding an auto electrician who even wants to touch a 40-plus-year-old Cadillac harness is a challenge in itself. And resale value? It's brutal. Despite its historical significance, the Seville never built the kind of devoted collector base that protects values the way a Mustang or Camaro does. You'll sink thousands into rust repair, mechanical work, and trim restoration, and when it's time to sell, buyers simply aren't lining up. It's a beautiful piece of Cadillac history. But financially, the 1976 Seville is a money pit wearing a luxury suit. Number 5. 1971 AMC Gremlin. Next up, a car that's become an internet meme as much as a collectible, the 1971 AMC Gremlin. It was American Motors' bold, budget-friendly answer to import compacts, and its quirky chopped-off rear end made it instantly recognizable. Collectors love it for nostalgia. Mechanics dread it for everything else. First, the structural problems. Gremlins are notorious rust magnets, especially around the rear wheel wells, floor pans, and the unusual hatchback area. Because AMC used thinner gauge steel to cut costs, corrosion spreads aggressively, and finding rust-free unibody sections is nearly impossible. Once rust sets into the unibody structure, repair costs skyrocket because there's no separate frame to fall back on. Parts availability is another major headache. AMC went out of business decades ago, and because the Gremlin wasn't a high-production icon like a Mustang, the aftermarket support is thin. Trim, glass, and unique body panels are scarce, and what does exist is often priced at a premium because demand, while passionate, is small. Mechanically, the base inline-six engines are fairly tough, but many surviving Gremlins have been modified haphazardly over the decades, leaving behind a patchwork of mismatched parts, sketchy wiring, and undocumented engine swaps. That means inspection costs go up, and surprises during restoration go up right along with them. There's also the suspension geometry. The Gremlin's shortened wheelbase made handling twitchy from the factory, and decades of wear only amplifies the unpredictability. Replacement bushings and specific suspension components are hard to track down in good condition. Finally, despite cult status, the collector market for Gremlins remains niche. You might pour serious money into bringing one back to life, only to discover that buyers are charmed by the look but unwilling to pay for the investment you made. It's quirky, it's iconic, but the Gremlin can quietly become a financial sinkhole. Number 4. 1980 Chevrolet Citation. Number 4 brings us to a car GM once bet its entire future on, the 1980 Chevrolet Citation. It was the first front-wheel drive compact from Chevrolet, sold over 800,000 units in its debut year, and was even named Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Sounds promising, right? In reality, it became one of the most recalled cars in American history. The Citation suffered from serious rear brake lockup issues, causing the car to skid unpredictably, a problem so severe it triggered a massive NHTSA investigation and recall campaign. Decades later, finding a Citation with its braking system properly and safely restored is incredibly difficult, and many surviving examples still carry the ghosts of that flawed engineering. Then there's the build quality. GM rushed the X-Body platform to market, and it shows. Owners report transmission failures, engine mounts that crack prematurely, and suspension components that wear out far faster than expected. Combine that with over 4 decades of age, and most surviving Citations need expensive mechanical overhauls just to drive safely. Rust is another brutal factor. Thin sheet metal and poor factory rust-proofing mean rocker panels, wheel wells, and floor pans are commonly compromised. Because the Citation wasn't built with collector longevity in mind, replacement body panels are virtually non-existent today. Parts sourcing in general is a nightmare. Unlike the Camaro or Corvette, the Citation never built an aftermarket industry around it. When something breaks, you're often left scouring junkyards or swap meets, hoping to find a compatible part from a car nobody bothered to preserve. And the kicker, collector interest is almost non-existent. The Citation's reputation for unreliability followed it for decades, meaning even a flawless restoration won't command serious money. You'll spend a fortune fixing a car the market still doesn't trust. It looked like the future of Chevrolet. It became a cautionary tale instead. Number 3. 1974 Ford Mustang II. Number 3 is a name that hurts true Mustang fans to hear in the same breath as worthless, the 1974 Ford Mustang II. After the muscle car era collapsed under oil crises and insurance hikes, Ford shrank the Mustang dramatically, basing it on the humble Pinto platform. The result was a car that wore a legendary badge but delivered none of the performance that made the name famous. The biggest issue collectors run into is the engine lineup. The base 4-cylinder is sluggish and uninspiring, while even the optional V6 lacks the muscle that defines true Mustang appeal. Performance enthusiasts overwhelmingly skip this generation, which tanks demand and resale value across the board. Then there's the Pinto connection, and yes, that brings baggage. Shared components mean shared weaknesses, including fuel system vulnerabilities and chassis components that were never engineered for long-term durability. Sourcing rust-free body panels is tough, since most restoration money in the Mustang world flows toward first-generation cars, leaving Mustang II specific trim and parts neglected and scarce. Rust is a serious problem here too. Thin sheet metal around the wheel arches, rocker panels, and floor pans corrodes aggressively, and because demand is low, finding NOS or quality reproduction panels is far harder than for earlier Mustangs. Interior trim is another pain point. Many Mustang II specific dash components, switches, and upholstery patterns were never reproduced at scale, meaning a full interior restoration often means custom fabrication at custom prices. And the resale reality stings the most. Even a beautifully restored Mustang II will sell for a fraction of what a comparable first-generation model commands. You're investing real money into a name that, in this specific form, the market has largely rejected. It carries the badge of a legend. But the 1974 Mustang II carries none of the value. Number 2. 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. Number 2 might shock you, because this car is pop culture royalty. The 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. Thanks to Back to the Future, it's one of the most recognizable cars ever built. But that fame creates a financial trap that catches collectors off guard constantly. First, parts and labor costs are wildly inflated specifically because of the car's celebrity status. Specialty shops know owners are emotionally attached, and quotes for basic maintenance often run far higher than comparable European exotics from the same era. The stainless steel body, while rust-resistant, is a nightmare to repair properly. Dents and panel damage require specialized techniques that most body shops simply don't have, meaning even minor cosmetic work demands expensive, specialized labor you'll have to track down and pay a premium for. Mechanically, the DMC-12 used a pusher in a Volvo V6 that was underpowered for the car's weight, and decades of inconsistent maintenance have left many surviving examples with tired engines, failing electronics, and that infamous gull-wing door hydraulic system that's notoriously expensive to repair when the struts inevitably fail. Electrical issues are widespread too. Many cars suffer from corroded grounds, failing relays, and dashboard gauge clusters that are difficult to source in working condition. Because DeLorean Motor Company collapsed in 1982, the original supply chain vanished, and while a parts company has stepped in, pricing reflects the lack of competition. And here's the cruel twist. Because everyone wants one for the nostalgia factor, prices stay artificially high even for rough examples, meaning you'll overpay at purchase and overpay again at every single repair. It's a time machine in pop culture. In your garage, it's a financial time bomb. Number 1. 1958 Edsel Corsair. And finally, the car that became the ultimate symbol of automotive failure in America, the 1958 Edsel Corsair. Ford poured enormous marketing money into launching the Edsel brand, promising innovation and prestige. Instead, it became one of the biggest commercial disasters in automotive history, and that reputation still haunts every Corsair today. The styling, controversial even at launch with its unusual horse-collar grille, divided buyers instantly. That same division affects collector demand now. Some love the boldness, but the broader market still treats Edsels as a punchline rather than a prize. Mechanically, the Corsair shared components with other Ford and Mercury models, but Edsel-specific trim, badges, and interior pieces are extraordinarily rare. Because the entire brand folded after just a few years, the supply chain for unique parts essentially vanished overnight, leaving restorers hunting swap meets and estate sales for decades just to find one badge or trim piece. The infamous Teletouch push-button transmission, mounted right in the steering wheel hub, sounded futuristic but proved notoriously unreliable, and qualified technicians who understand this obsolete system are almost impossible to find today. Rust is, predictably, a massive issue given the car's age, and because so few were ever produced compared to mainstream Fords, finding rust-free donor cars for parts is exceptionally difficult. And the resale market reflects all of this baggage. Despite being a fascinating piece of American business history, the stigma surrounding the Edsel name keeps buyer interest limited, meaning your investment in parts, labor, and rare trim rarely translates into resale value. It's the car that taught Detroit a hard lesson. And it can teach you one too, the expensive way. So there you have it, 6 American classics that look stunning but hide financial disaster underneath. Before you fall for chrome and nostalgia, do your research. Which one surprised you most? Drop a comment below and subscribe for more classic car truths every week.